Oh, that makes sense. Hi, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. There we go. Now featuring Saturn. I mean, it's been featuring Saturn for a minute now. I'm loving it. It's giving me like funky Saturn, disco moon, Sedona, Arizona, in the desert somewhere vibes. But it's a very like abundant desert, right? There's lots of succulents out here. So I decided that, I might as well start with this for today because, why not? Why not? That way I don't have like a month and a half's worth of pages to flip through every single time. And I'll timestamp it. So 0000 Farmer's Almanac of the Day or whatever. I don't know. And then I'll get into. So I just want to like pull a few of these and one of these because I'm obsessed with these lately. So the fact today is an eggshell has between 7,000 and 17,000 pores. These allow the chick inside to breathe. And it's interesting because the eggshell has that many pores, but it doesn't leak. Maybe it's because of the membrane that keeps everything together. And if it is because of the membrane that keeps everything together, there's a very airy energy here. We're going back to the birds. There was like a 4-hour video of me flipping from March 5 to April 13. I was thinking about it after that video, and there was a part where it was like the moon is getting further and further away, and so it's some like Atlantis-y. Like when the moon was closer, it kept something on the surface of the planet, but as it went away, it sank. There was a ship coming out, and the next 3 full moons, I believe, are all super moons, and the closest one is going to be in May or June. The last full moon was really close. I remember walking outside and seeing the moon in the sky. Whenever the moon is that close, it freaks me out. I don't know why. I get scared. And like if ever there's a photo series of like this is what the sky would look like if there's a giant banana floating around Earth, or if Saturn was as close to Earth as the moon is, this is what the sky would look like. And I don't know why it freaks me out, but it does. The Page of Cups and the Magician. Page of Cups came out. The Magician is at the bottom of the deck. The Magician uses all of the tools. The Page of Cups does something in a new way. Let me grab my magnifying glass because I'm trying to see if there's anything in this cup. I love this thing. Yeah, there's a little blue fish in the cup. And she's wearing rings? Hold it, y'all. She's wearing 2 rings. And I just watched one of the Charlie's Angels movies not too long ago. The second one. And there were 2 rings in that movie. And the 2 rings were used to decode something. It had the list of all of the people who were protected by the Witness Protection Program. And then there's the fish in the cup. And I guess it's reminding me of, I can't remember her name, Drew Barrymore, and how it was revealed that she had a previous life and that she was also in the register of witnesses to be protected. And she had to face Seamus in that movie. She had to face her past. But it's like in the time that had passed, she had become a completely different person. It's like she had hatched since then. And with this magician card and the eggshell, every element in the eggshell serves a purpose, right? The shell is the earth, the membrane is the air, the yolk is the fire, and the egg white is the water. Also, it's like there's a little water fairy, maybe, and a fire fairy down there. Never noticed those before. These red roses in the crown. There's something about, so in the Page of Cups, it's a headband or a hairband or whatever. But in the Magician, it's his crown. And so it reminds me almost of like a cyclopsy thing where it's like, it comes down like a visor, but it's between the crown and the third eye. It's the crown in the Page of Cups, but it's the third eye in the Magician. And it almost feels like the Magician, from his crown, he's projecting that infinity symbol. And so it's almost feeling like Tony Stark, almost feeling like Iron Man when he's in the mansion and he has like the holograms and they're like he's doing stuff with it. Almost a little bit. Hey Mimi, how you doing today? And then there's this like root energy with like this red shawl with the yellow etchings. It's like a root energy, but it's inscribed with solar plexus sort of magic. I'm doing pretty good as well. Thank you for asking. And so it's very like fine tuned. These are like very precise movements. The one that sticks out to me the most, it's the sun right there. That's the one I'm like, that's clearly the sun. I think that one might be Saturn. There's another sun here. There's two suns. There's a star, a moon, some other stuff. So yeah, the eggshell has between 7,000 and 17,000 pores. Oh, happy birthday to your mama. Happy birthday, mom. Are y'all doing anything? Eating a cake? You said cake yesterday, maybe, right? Or you said ice cream yesterday, sherbet. It has all these pores, but nothing escapes. And it makes it, well, no, it doesn't. Not necessarily. The Nine of Wands is behind it. Again, Nine of Wands has been behind a lot of stuff. And I don't know if this sun is rising or setting, but then there's the Ten of Wands. And then the Six of Wands and the High Priestess behind it. But I don't know if this is rising or setting, that sun. I feel like it's rising. I feel like I talked about that yesterday. And when the sun is at its lowest, or when the sun is in its more lower points in the sky, that's when it's safer to look at it. Right? If you look at it when it's like noon, it might burn your eyeballs, cause some damage. It could, it's possible. Got you seeing sunspots. Yeah, there's something very like almost twilighty or dusky or dawny about this. But I feel like it's also speaking of like the very fine gold or yellow etchings in this. It's very delicate, just like an eggshell, right? But this is what it holds, the potential for new life. With these rings that have the power to, I don't know. And it's almost like a Moana energy, like when the sea was like protecting her or whatever. It's almost like that. It's very innocent. Maybe some like communications. Maybe you're reaching a return to your innocence, and so you're going to be looking for people, places, and spaces. that can accommodate that energy. And with the magician, it's going to be for you in some part to create it in whatever way you do that. I don't know. What'd you say? You got to run errands, not really, but probably during the weekend. Ah, you were sun gazing at the wrong time. Yeah, I've heard that because I hear people talk about sun gazing. And I'm like, wait, but then somebody was like, you're supposed to sun gaze, or a few people. No, because a few people, maybe only one person, a few people, they were like, you sun gaze at around sunset because that's when, a lot of the more harmful rays of the sun are already sort of gone, or they don't pass through the atmosphere, and then you get the less harmful rays. Yeah. Oh, Snake. Yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. But that was the eggshell today and the chick. I think there's also like a difference between like because a chicken will produce an egg every like not every egg is fertilized at the same time, right? Because only one out of four of these eggs was fertilized. Only one of them became a chick. The other ones are still eggs. I don't know. That's a masculine energy. We have these feminine spaces, but there's it like without masculine energy, it doesn't produce any life. Whatever that means, probably why your vision is the way it is now. Oof, maybe. Girl. I used to stare at the sun when I was a little kid. Maybe that's why I got the problems I got. And they're like, usually this is genetic, but like you have no genetic links. And I'm like, oh, like I don't know. But hey, I can see better now. It was just fun. I don't know. All right, let's see what angels come out today. Who is this? Saphlatus, angel of dust. Ooh, dust. From dusk to dawn. That's an old vampire movie, right? Okay. With Rahab, angel of the deep, at the bottom of the deck. Angel of the deep. Ooh, Dayat, Azrael, angel of death, and the null emptiness. Okay. There is something there with Dayat and the unfertilized egg because it's like nothing exists here, but it's important to give it a name. Well, that was quick. Well, it's the angel that we keep seeing, Matariel, angel of rain. Okay. With Bina, left eye knowledge. But we already know about this, right? You love that movie. Oh, I already forgot what movie I was talking about. Oh, from Dusk to Dawn. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, and Keter, spirituality, the crown is below this. I know it looks like she's holding a pearl, but it's feeling like a single raindrop today. It's feeling like a raindrop. Also, I've never noticed. So, talking about Dayat and the void, she's reaching through the void in her chest and holding that. It feels like, honestly, it feels like that's her heart. And it's like somehow it came out of her chest. And she was trying to put it back in her chest, but it's like she died before it happened. And so that's her holding her heart, like almost there. Like broke, well, maybe she's flexible, but like broke her own arms. And it's almost like it would have been a smoother motion to pull it through rather than like putting it in and then pulling your hands out. Maybe she wouldn't have had enough time. And I feel like this is a very South Node Sagittarius energy as well. The prioritization of knowledge and how it can lack heart sometimes. Like, I don't think she's like dead, though. I just think she's like immobilized. And once that pearl, that's wisdom, the pearl of wisdom. This is knowledge without wisdom. Knowledge without wisdom is dead. But it's also the raindrop. I feel like once it makes its way back into her chest, though, she'll come back alive. So she ain't like dead, because she can't die, but she is immobilized. Honestly, I mean, with the expression on her face, because she looks pretty peaceful. It don't look like she upset. Maybe she did it to herself. I think that's also the burden of knowledge sometimes. And that's interesting that that came up today. I think this can be the burden of knowledge when we know things that we don't necessarily want to know, and the like the weight. This is that like ignorance is bliss type of energy. But let's see what come out. Give me some of these little cards. I want at least one more. There we go. So we get Rinth, Angel of Time, and Gabriel, the Golden Herald. They look like they're in similar-ish environments. I don't. I'm tempted to say that they're all in the same environment, almost, but maybe not. We'll see. Bottom of the deck is Barbiel, Angel of Scorpio, and we're heading towards a Scorpio full moon. Ooh, that's a lot of Mars. So we're in like this Mars gateway between a new moon Aries and a full moon Scorpio. Now, if it were the other way around, if we would have had the new moon Aries first and then the full moon Libra and then the new moon Taurus and then the full moon Scorpio, there would have been a larger gap between those two Martian influences. But since we're doing new moons first, our full moons first, it's like Mars, Aries, Scorpio back to back. And then Libra and Taurus is outside of that. So the feminine energy is on the outside and the masculine energy is on the inside. Where the book at? Where the book at? Where the book at? Where's the book? This should be less than 40 minutes because this is all I'm doing today. This is all I'm doing. Oh, there's Bina, but that's in like Italian. I don't know Italian. I'm about to butcher this, but Unghetta, wait. Unghetta de luci che si riversa sul mondo una candela la cui fiamma ne può accendere un'altra senza. I don't even know how to pronounce things in Italian. So I probably butchered that all the way up. Yeah, that was Italiano. Espanol, Francais, they got Russian and Chinese. They got Chinese on page 123. Russian is 99, French is 77. It's interesting that French and Russian start on master numbers, and then Chinese starts on 123. In here. Let's go to the Espanol. I'm not gonna know what it says, but I'll know how to pronounce it a little bit better. I say that, watch me butcher this. Bina la tercera emanación, un haz de luz que se vierte en el mundo. Una vela cuya llama puede encender, otra sin apagarse. No solo busca la creación, sino su objetivo. La esfera blanca ilumina el camino que hay por delante. Maybe. Esta emanación es un conducto. Un conducto. No emite luz por sí sola, no tiene ninguna forma y no toca nada. Toca nada. Es perfecta. I'm not rolling a single R. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. There's Suckloff. Suckloff was at the. Oh, there's Matario, founder. So Matario, Angel of Rain. Matario's touch is felt, seen, and heard. Its presence is heavy, filling the air, saturating the ground. Matario is heralded by thunder clapping through the sky, signaling change and shift. There is a great migration coming, and it arcs like lightning. The potentiality from one body is moving to another, a precarious transference, a swift communion like the arrow taking its target. Awareness is paramount for the journey. Don't try to create an outcome for your future. Be in the moment. Let the rain fall where it may. Signs are a fountain, a cup, and an arrow. I kind of like that, especially because, we're still in the middle of this blue lunar storm. I guess the blue lunar storm year will be coming to an end in a few months. There's a great migration coming and it arcs like lightning. People are talking about how this Aries energy is affecting them. I guess I can notice that some of the readings in some moments has been a little more fiery, but overall I feel generally calm. I do know that I need to start doing stuff now. It's time to stop resting on my laurels. So Gabriel, the Golden Herald, and it talked about something being heralded. What did it say? Matariel is heralded by thunder clapping through the sky, signaling change and shift. And then here's the Golden Herald. So this Golden Herald embodies those transmissions which are most important. Words, sounds, and pictures that carry a huge impact. Sometimes the results are glorious and sometimes they are terrible. Either way, there is no way to hold them back. When the herald lifts its lantern, everyone will see it. There is no escaping it. Rimph, Angel of Time. The ocean pulsed, pushed onward, beat by beat, marching forward. They die up on the beach. Girl. And with each strike, the sand pulls upon the stones, polishing faces smooth. That sounds like somebody being removed. You're so grateful to have the energy and able-bodied. Yes. The ocean pulsed, pushed onward, beat by beat, marching forward. They die up on the beach. And with each stroke, the sand pulls upon the stones, polishing faces smooth. So, what this is talking about, it's the ability of water to erode things. And there's no wind here. I feel like the wind is inherent in the storm, but not necessarily in the rain. It almost feels like emotional overload. Like if you experience so many emotions at once that it's like you just go like blank. It's like can't process any more emotion. Oh, I wanted to use the Archangel Power cards to keep it in theme, but I don't feel like grabbing those. So I'll grab one of these Diceology cards. I should just go ahead and make the second edition of Diceology. And I'll choose a different background too, make it cool. Because this partially feels like an energy, it's reminding me of Judgment from the Tarot Apocalypsis, how there are the people at the top of the rock who are beginning to fly, and then there are the people towards the bottom of the rock and stranded out in the island who are like lamenting and who are being overwhelmed by whatever. And it's like it's the same situation for everybody, but different people are triggered differently. And so while there is a partial energy of being like marooned here because of this sudden downpour, there's also an energy of like faces that were polished smooth who are going to be awakened with the energy of the Golden Herald. So it's a little bit of an energy of like, I don't know, it's like some will lament, others will not rejoice, but it feels like going into purpose, going into mission. It's like some will be overwhelmed and some will, like, this will be the push that they need to do what they need to do. And I feel like it's going back to that eggshell and how not every egg is fertilized. So some will stay in their shell and some will hatch. And I feel like the element that is missing is masculine. It's masculine energy because that's what fertilizes the egg, right? There's a little bit of an Akashic energy here. Hey, Eve. Hey. I don't know if I told you yet, but I caught your the Taurus Animal Spirits video, and I loved it. With the donkey and who else was it? The lamb was there. Who was the other one? It was gorgeous. There's a little bit of an Akashic energy here because if you look at Gabriel's book, it's like there's something missing in the middle, right? At the heart of the story. And it's like it's that pearl that Bina is holding. And so maybe there's a little bit of a sacrifice here. And maybe that's why she's at peace. But it's to get you to sort of remember and to get you to. Yeah, at first when it first came out, I was like, the donkey, what? But then you went into it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I love it. It's what sacrificed to get you to remember, I guess. And then with Rimph, it could be things that were lost to time. It's almost like the time for whatever is within that book is now. Are these like the same size roughly? Oh no, the other ones are a little bigger. I'm still gonna pull one of these cards though. Oh, who's this? Okay, yeah. It's the Six of Hearts. Maximizing or minimizing, limitation or support. Look to the root. And that's very much this energy. That's very much this. Because it's like some will take this as an opportunity to come into themselves in a greater way, and others will sort of be inundated and washed out. Maximizing or minimizing, limitation or support, look to the root. And it feels like there's an element of earth here. And going back to the high priestess yesterday, either it's wet or it's dry. if it's wet, it feels like if the earth is too dry, it's not going to be able to accommodate all of this rain, and it's gonna like it's gonna flood, and then it's gonna wash out the plants, all the nutrients and stuff like that. That's why there the dust storms in the dust storms in sub-Saharan Africa are really really important because they bring nutrients to the rainforest. It rains so much in the rainforest that it washes out everything. But last year, it's like the dust was carried much further. And so it was in like Puerto Rico, maybe somewhere around Central America, I think. They were getting some of the dust from the Sahara, from Africa. And they were told to caution to stay indoors. And now we have these volcanoes erupting, right? And so it's this energy of it feels like overly it's like overly giving. It feels like it's compensating for something, but like all at once, and not over a length of time. It feels like it's happening all at once. And I don't know what these. It's feeling like Gabriel. Gabriel! Oh my gosh! I just heard that name. Ah! And I was like Gabriel, and then here's Gabriel. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, but it feels like there are these stone people, and the stone people remind me of Dr. Stone and the 3,700 years that passed. But all of this around Gabriel, it's feeling like it's almost feeling like branches or roots. Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh. It's feeling like branches are roots. And who is that? Because I'm going to go looking for whoever that is. It's the nine. Who's the nine? Before Malkuth? Yesod. The ninth emanation, the foundation that supports the world and forms the gateway between the spiritual and the physical. Yesod is the medium through which we experience the tree of life. Upon his shoulders rests the sky, and all that lies beyond it runs through his fingers. We stand at this doorway and peer through, seeking answers to our nature. Through the indigo orb, a gateway appears. As a single column again, the flow of energy through the tree only moves downward. Yesod is the last stop before moving into the fully physical realm. He is the looking glass through which we examine ourselves. And so I guess I'll look in the big one. I'll pull him. And it's giving me that energy because it is like it's the base of the tree. Or it's feeling like that. Who's the one that records? Oh, I just found a rim. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the same rim. Maybe I'll go looking for the year two rim. That's what I'll do. And Gabriel. Watch your side be at the bottom. Yeah, that's the same Gabriel too. Oh, it's bigger now. So it feels like that orb that Bina is holding is the missing piece in the book that Gabriel is holding. And when it's complete, that's the light that shines, right? Because it said, when the herald lifts its lantern, everyone will see it. There's no escaping it. That's what happens when that pearl of knowledge because it feels like Gabriel will contextualize it in a way that turns it into wisdom rather than it just being knowledge floating out there. Here's Yesod. Yesod is between Hasmid, angel of annihilation, and Chesed, angel of empathy. Between empathy and annihilation. Why is this like a mercy killing or something? But I feel like, see, because with the angel of empathy, it feels like um, there's a growth on its heart. And it's reminding me of like the diseases that trees get when they start to swell. Also, again, shout out to Queen Cup. This could be the balance between like that light worker and the dark worker. It's the balance between love and service to self and love and service to others. Because her heart is overgrown, it has a tumor. His heart is scarred and it's almost like it's been surgically removed. And it's about finding the balance between literally the light and the dark. And that's what's around Yesod. But that makes sense because Yesod in the tree of life, it's the first point where both legs or both branches meet before everything that is Malkuth. Right? Let's see. I have a little image in here. Right there. So if you look at the 8 and the 7 and how they all meet at 9, Yesod is where both of these two meet before it comes down to Malkuth. Let's see. I want one of these for this. I'll just pull one. I'll keep it face down. We'll go with this one. So let's look for Rimph and Gabriel. See what they're being supported by. Gadriel. They should have 2 cards, I believe. I believe they should have 2, but I don't know. I hope they do. They don't? Girl, they don't. Oh, wait. No, they don't. Excuse me? They don't. They only have 1. Well, which ones have 2? Well, let's go looking for Yesod then, I guess. I don't think I saw Yesod, though. I don't think the Saphira are in this deck. So who are the angels that got 2? I guess it's only like a few of them. Never mind that then. Okay, who else is coming out for this then? And it feels like Malkuth is the mastery of combining those 2 influences. But it's reminding me of the zero sum game a little bit because it feels like universally it balances itself out. And there may be seasons and cycles. But ultimately, if you look at all of time, past and future, and the present moments that flow between, it's like it's all balanced. So top of the deck is Rimph. with Bezaliel. This is a different one. This is a different Bezaliel. I've been seeing the other one that has the shadow right behind him. Angel of Shadows. Bottom of the deck is Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. With Malahidiel, Angel of Aries under that. Angel of Shadows and the Angel of the Unseen. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what this is about. So this Bezaliel, falling through the branches, standing still among the shaking leaves, stop and listen. My approach, my touch. The wind shifts, and there I am, cool against your skin. I will not leave you. Now here's the wind. The wind shifts. The angel of rain. It's taking me back to whatever day out of the many days yesterday that says when the sheep turn their back to the wind, that means it's going to rain. And so first there was water erosion. Now comes the wind. And then Tamiel, angel of the unseen. Tamiel moved through his life with such ease that it took a long time before anyone realized he was blind. To know that one of them was deficient in some aspect was unsettling in a way that was hard to put into words. The attendance at Tamiel's rituals diminished as people's unease with him increased. It was clear that his insight was still valuable, but it was difficult to watch him wield his ceremonial dagger with the knowledge that he didn't know where it was going. Oh, that's funny. I feel like, why is that low key me though? Like people, because in my own, right? Before I got my surgeries done, because in my world, like I can't see at night, and my vision, like it cuts off here. I can't see anything below this, below like this, honestly, or above this. So it's very like this. And I would like bump into stuff all the time. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, do people think I'm bumping into stuff for fun? Like I'm running into things because I can't see them. And even like my own dad, he would forget that I have trouble seeing sometimes. But in my reality, it's like, it's huge, but other people couldn't see it. My mom was like, you got to remember, she was like, for as well as you can't see, you navigate pretty well. And I'm like, well, sometimes it's anxiety attack just trying to get somewhere. And it's interesting. There's an energy here, though. It's like God doesn't make mistakes, the divine doesn't make mistakes. And I think that's a truth that's very easy to accept when everything is going okay or great. But once you encounter difficulty or once you encounter something different, that's when it becomes a lot harder to, what's the word? It starts with the C. That's when it becomes harder to accept. I'll just say it's harder to accept. But Tamiel is the angel of the unseen. So it's like there are some things that you can only see when you can. And then Bezaliel would sort of be the in between point of the seen and the unseen as the angel of shadows. And it is interesting the unease that people feel like once you realize he's blind and you're like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know where that knife is going. This could be nasty. Like, ooh, my nerves can't take it. My nerves can't take it. It's like, what is that five finger? fillet. Is that 5 finger fillet when you have the knife and you're like trying to stab between your fingers and you go faster and faster, and then like when people go so fast, it's like, oh, a finger is about to be cut off. You feel similar with your voice. Sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to be heard for you. Yeah. That's why I just watch on my TV and I turn the volume up, you know? But there's something here. Where's Bina? There's something going on in these heart spaces. But this heart space feels like it could be this. When that's complete and it goes into the heart, then it's like it evolves into this. And then it's like blind to one world, but seeing in another. This is a very interesting energy. And so, because I've read the other Bezalel cards so much, one of those is the actual angel, and the other one is the shadow. But for some reason, it feels like they're both the angel, or the angel's shadow is still the angel in some way. And Tamiel, since Tamiel doesn't rely on his eyes, he can see that there's no separation between the two. But then it's like an angel that's able to like, it's like operate two vehicles at the same time independently. Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm curious to see what this face down card is though. It's the Joker. Prophetic dreams, inspired action, tapping into the other side. I love that tapping into the other side came out with both of these, actually, the Angel of Shadows and the Angel of the Unseen. And I think that's also, again, that's the balance between these two. And that's what Queen Cup was talking about. She was like, if you have been more service to others, you're probably going to be leaning towards service to self. Like the Angel of Perspective or something. Which one? Bezalel? I can see that. It's like it's able to look at different viewpoints simultaneously, different vantage points, but still be the same observer. And I feel like it gives both of them an ability to come to an understanding of the truth. Because one of them can observe multiple sides at once, and the other one, because he doesn't see the face it wears, he can see right to the heart of it. This Tamiel Bezalel combo, I don't know if it's more the blind one. Okay. I don't know if it's more like the combination of the two or this one that I really want to be like, I really want to get into. But I think that's also, it's like prophetic dreams and tapping into the other side are the two that's sticking out to me the most. Because in the dream, we can see more than we see in reality in the waking world. And with Bezalel, it's like one of these is our waking self, the other one is the dream self. Now, again, it's like which is which. I would be tempted to say, in a dream, you're bigger and you can do more. But which is the truth? Yeah. Um, I want to know more. I want to know everything. Oh, it's triggering my curiosity. And then, so there's this balance in between these two and that heart space. One that's almost absent, and the other one that's overgrown, like a tumor. But in Yesod, it's like it expands the heart space to the point that, oh my gosh, it becomes a portal. But what's that? What's that? That's the pearl from Bina. What? Okay, now we gotta look and see what the difference is. We gotta consult the tree. Pull some clarifiers. I don't know what deck I would pull from though. I might though. We'll see. Because Bina is the left eye, which would place her as the third emanation. Let's see. Let's see. Bina. Yeah, the third emanation. So Bina would be here, and Yesod is all the way down there. And so the pearl from here has to get down here. The shortest route is through Tiferet, the heart, but the path to the heart, it's tricky because there's this balance that needs to be navigated, and so we can't go through the heart. And so I guess we would travel down. The second quickest path would be to travel down and then go here. But you could also do this or this, or you can come down, go over, go back up, come back over here. But it does. There is this feeling between these two cards. There's a feeling of like taking both paths at once. So it's like, because since we still can't go through the heart, it's like traveling down both of these to get to the nine. But since you're doing both of them at the same time, it's almost like it's replicating the energy here because you're occupying both at the same time. And that's what creates, it's like it maintains this portal all the way down. I don't know. That's some Seven of Cups choices, right? To satisfy my curiosity. But that's the Fool and the Hermit, isn't it? Navigating both the internal and external worlds at the same time. This is that energy that was like accepting paradox, accepting the fact that duality is a part of life, rather than trying to polarize on one or the other. It's that middle path energy. I can't believe that's the same pearl. I'm like, whoa, how far did that pearl fall to get all the way down there? But now there's the red one that's coming to be. It's like it's possible to get this red one now that that portal is open. But then it's almost like, well, which of them would go in here? But these two, it's reminding me of this. There's two pearls now. And then we have this angel and his detached shadow. And then we have this heart space here that's all kinds of like, wait. And you know what's the most interesting about this? The human body is so symmetric that if you look at the design of the human body, it's a little weird that we only have one heart. And that one heart isn't in the center of our body, right? We have one nose, it's in the middle. One mouth starts in the middle, spans out. Two eyes, two ears. Everything of one is in the middle. Everything of two is on opposite sides. So why do we have one heart and it's not in the middle of our bodies? It's almost like there should be another heart. And it's that second heart that lets these two be two separate embodiments of the same entity. And then maybe it's that second heart that's unseen. And that's why he's got the, I don't know. I don't know. You wonder if that's why all the mirror stuff is coming out. Potentially. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, something don't make sense to me. Everything else. I could be wrong though. Like I never took anatomy. I was in anatomy for like 3 days and then I dropped it because I didn't want to do the lab. I'm like, I can't see. I can't do this lab. I'll fail this class. And the class that didn't have a lab was already full. So most things in the body, there are either two of them or they're more in the middle. And like, if you look at the rib cage, it's like you got this off to the side. Why can't I don't know? Is there anything for anyone who's taken anatomy? Is there anything over here, or is this just an empty space? What? What's up, Mimi? Is that why we forget? We entered the white mirror wave spell on the 11th. Oh, snap. Right before that new moon in Aries. Nearly perfect harmony, a crystal clear night of charted stars, triplets in the third trimester. Five of diamonds. The two of spades at the bottom of the deck is interesting. A displacement replaced, unintended and unforeseen consequences, and a need for wisdom. A displacement replaced and a need for wisdom, that reminds me of like what happens when that pearl re-enters the heart space, because that's what I said earlier. Maybe you have to create the second heart or something. It feels like a vessel. With that creating it, it feels like something to be like poured into. Maybe we don't anatomically or physiologically have two hearts, but energetically we have the love for self and the love for others. And it's to keep both of those hearts healthy. Who is this? I thought the 10 was just at the bottom. A single blade cuts through the tempest, calming the winds, a dislodged hunk of cheese. Oh, what are these? How did these fall on the table? I don't think these mean anything. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't expect this today. This is interesting. It's this card right here. This one is the most. I'm just like, wait. Tamiel moved through his life with such ease that it took a long time before anyone realized he was blind. To know that one of them was deficient in some aspect was unsettling in a way that was hard to put into words. The attendance of Tamiel's rituals diminished as people's unease with him increased. It was clear that his insight was still valuable, but it was difficult to watch him wield his ceremonial dagger with the knowledge that he didn't know where it was going. I feel like that in and of itself at this point speaks volumes, especially with I can't remember his name, but the angel of the deep was at the bottom of the deck earlier. And with the messages that it's like the angel of the deep, the angel of purity, and Bezaliel, the angel of shadows, it's like it's what lies in darkness that is really unsettling to a lot of people. But if you're born blind, everything is dark. Your whole life is navigating darkness. And so it doesn't affect you or it doesn't scare you or freak you out knowing that you're walking into a void because your whole life is a void. And so he probably frequents that place. And that's how he's learned to see the unseeable. Because of his deficiency, it's like it makes him immune to the fear associated with certain spaces because it's a fear that he's lived with every day to the point where it doesn't become a fear anymore. It's just part of the reality that he's. I guess, like, if you're born that way, it's just your reality. There's nothing to fear. And that's the thing about mirrors and people is that it would do that. It's not exactly the same because it is, since it's the mirror image, it's on the other side. And again, that's, she was talking about how a lot of light workers might attract dark workers. If you're someone who's selfless and giving, you may attract people who are more selfish. And then you'll be like, how can you be so selfish? And they'll be like, how can you be so selfless? And you learn from each other. You meet in the middle. I love this card. I'm like obsessed. But I don't want to pull any clarifiers for it. Because it's the angel of the unseen, I feel like it wouldn't help. It's the deep, angel of the deep, angel of shadows. It's you just got to go for it. And now I'm noticing that little dot. So like there's that one and then there's that tiny one right there. And then there's that ring right there. That's Dayat. This angel has somehow found a way to close that void. A lot of the Sephira have these voids. Well, I guess besides Keter and Malkuth, but they don't count. Malkuth has one. Uh, okay. So these aren't going to be in order. Keter doesn't really have a void, but Keter is basically the embodiment of the divine before anything is separate anyway. And it's almost like that Keter holds the hearts of all the emanations. Dayat also has an energy of holding all the hearts. And you can see like the different things that are missing and all these like things floating outside, right? Malkuth is almost like all of those different hearts existing in the same place, but there is a little bit of that right there. I'm not sure what that is. Netzah is, I mean, I don't know what that is. There's all that right there. Gavura, you can see her void. Chakma is almost as spindly as Bina, but has this void right there. Tiferet also has the void. Hod has the void, but it's hard to see. It's almost covered up, but it's right there. And what's interesting is that that's the shape that's at the top of Dayad. And Hod is left leg submission. We see the void in Yasad, that's a portal. And then we've also seen the void in Bina. And so it's like Tamiel has found what was missing in himself. But again, it's like the conditions of his birth almost made it easier. A void moon tonight? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, I need to send some emails today. I don't. Is the moon moving? When does the moon move into Gemini? I guess I could look up void moons. Oh yeah, there is a void moon tonight. No, wait, no, that's my birth. oh. Yeah, there will be a void moon tonight because the moon is currently 24 degrees Taurus. And so it'll be moving into Gemini. And sometime between that movement, it'll go void, of course. Yeah, there'll be a void moon tonight between Taurus and Gemini. Oh, I'm about to have a lunar return at 222. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it feels like because of the conditions of his birth, Tamiel was more naturally capable to go into that void space and to find it. And that's why Dayat's got all these little floating orbs around it. The emptiness holds it, floating all around. That's why it's important to give it a name. It's like we don't know what it is, but it's there. And then Remiel, Angel of Visions, is at the bottom of the deck now. And this prophetic dreams and tapping into the other side is here. Tapping into the other side is the other hearts, maybe. I don't know. You just had yours. Oh, snap. I love my moon in Taurus, but sometimes I'm like, oof, this moon in Taurus. Oh, I got my days where I'm just like short. But now I realize it. I'm like, wow, that was a little, it wasn't mean, but it was a little dry. I'm like, I sound like my grandma sometimes. She's a Taurus. I think I share some placements with my grandma. I think my Taurus moon is fairly close to her Taurus sun, and my Taurus rising is like the same degree as my little brother's Taurus sun. And I was like, wow, wait. Oh, Matariel is still on the table. Maybe that's what it'll be raining. Maybe the rain is the collective little pearl heart things. And there are going to be some people with their books open, ready to receive whatever in them is missing. And there will be other people who are sort of standing on the shores of time. But it's not, I don't know. I don't know. Things have the potential to get really interesting. You weren't a big fan of the Taurus moon, then again, it could just be the stellium. I I don't know how I feel about this Taurus moon, honestly. I feel like I wasn't, maybe it's the stellium, but I feel like I haven't been able to really sleep lately. I was sleeping so good before the new moon. And then the new moon hit, and it's like I'm waking up at 3, I'm waking up at 6, I'm waking up at 7. And I'm sleeping like all right. It's like I don't wake up feeling tired. I just wish I could sleep the whole night through. Okay. So yeah, I said this wouldn't even be 40 minutes, and it turned out to be an hour and 20. So Chokma, wisdom. Bottom of the deck is Keter, spirituality. So we've had the top three: Keter, Chokma, and Bina. There's wisdom. And it's interesting because it feels like the way Chokma is positioned, like with one leg on top of the other, like he's sitting there waiting for us to get it together. Maybe, potentially, maybe not. Maybe not. You never know. You never know with these energies. I feel like that would be. I feel like it would lead to a lot of chaos in reality if everyone at the same time just started like really, or maybe not, maybe not. Potentially, in an old Earth, I can see it leading to a lot of chaos if everyone came into their ability to more easily manifest and how selfish people were. I could see that sort of tearing the planet apart. But from an Aquarian unified collective space, then it could lead to something really beautiful. Who is this? It's the non-card card. Oh, but now we see this side. It usually comes out on this side. but it's on this side now. That's the tail end of that. I guess it's a falling angel. I don't know. It's an angel going somewhere. Oops. We see the wings and we see the legs in this one. That's an energy of mobility and movement. Both the feet and the wings imply movement. Gabriel, the golden herald, is at the bottom. Matariel, angel of rain, is at the top. But this is a different Matariel than the one we saw before. Verkiel, angel of Leo, is under it. It says, O lonely fountain, bless us mortals that dwell beneath you. Let our gratefulness abate your sadness. Let our prayers reach you, lonely Matariel. We seek your embrace. We beg that you may stretch your hand so we may praise your generosity. O great muse of rain, O sustainer of life, we patiently await your blessing. What was this? Oh. He's like, mm-hmm. It's that Jeopardy music playing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see. One last one of these. And I feel like unconditional love will probably get us a lot closer to that. This came out before, but it was with some cards that didn't seem like they meant anything. Adaptive materialization, a murky mind or will, and clouded vision. Clouded vision and a murky mind or will. It's really that clouded vision. And it's the difference between like clouded vision and blindness. But clouded vision, it implies an energy of being like overly reliant upon what you see, regardless of how little of the picture that you actually see. Right? It's like being overly reliant upon your senses, even though your senses are dulled or distorted or create an image that is very not true. And when you're blind, it's different because there's no image to be attached to. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Spades, the rise of two empires synchronized, a vision that ignites the self and the soul. So that's what I got. I don't know what this was, but it was interesting at the very least. I mean, I guess yesterday was the energy of ships coming out of the water that used to be on the surface, pulled by a moon that will soon escape our gravitational orbit and will just be moonless. I guess the sky will get a lot darker at night when that happens. But also, the next few moons are going to be super moons. So the next few full moons will be super moons. I believe. Don't quote me. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good whatever whenever you see this. It was good to see you, Eve and Mimi. And I hope that y'all do whatever y'all need to do to get whatever y'all's want and need in life. And best of luck out there navigating your lives day to day, living in this thing we call reality, this shared experience, the shared dream in which a few players seem to hold all the power, or they think they do, until you come into yours and stop giving it to other people. And I don't know. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Bye. No problem. I'm glad to hear it.